Sir, you are already quite well known in our community, but just for the audience, can you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Dr. Sarwar Hussain Chowdhury. Primarily by education, I'm a doctor, but by occupation, I'm a teacher, and most people know me as a teacher. At the same time, I'm also a car enthusiast. I have been for decades, and some people know me as the recent winner of the Bangladesh Rallycross Championship.
How did you become the car enthusiast?
I think it starts like every other kid, you start with posters and magazines and car shows. Obviously, car shows first, Top Gear, definitely. In fact, the first poster that I got when I was a kid, I was like, 11, was actually the new Honda Prelude.
Back then?
Yeah, so this was just recently released and it was a big hit. And I used to live in the Middle East and this was selling like hotcakes. Every other guy was getting this. This and the Del Sol, these things were selling a lot. I also had this black Acura NSX that was like 2 roads from my place. So I would like purposely take the next bus stop going to school so that I can see that car, and then go to school. So being able to see the NSX up front, especially back then because there was nothing like that, it was so gorgeous. That completely made me fall in love with Honda. This was always in the list. I really wanted to get this, primarily because of the looks. I didn't understand performance and all that. But then when I came back to Bangladesh, my first car was actually a Honda Civic 1992.
You still have it?
No, I sold it though. The VTI model. So that had a little 1.5 VTEC engine, but it was so much fun. So I fell in love with Hondas because Hondas just, it's the gateway drug for car enthusiasts. Other than Hondas, you can also get the, 4AG equipped Toyotas. Those were like the craze back then. We're talking like 2000, 2001, 2002. Everyone was going for these cars, anyone who was an enthusiast. And why wouldn't they? Because they gave a lot for the money, right? You had just the right power, not crazy power that people would make dumb mistakes, but enough power to feel it, to, enjoy the drive. They were very good handling cars right from the factory, but you could really improve it with some aftermarket parts. So springs, shock absorbers, sway bars, people were doing all of that stuff and people were getting into the scene, and we were building a community because when I became an enthusiast, the whole car community was a new thing. And today the car community is huge, and car enthusiasts and enthusiasm, it itself is like an industry right now with lots of money involved, right? And lots of media involved. And slowly this has trickled into actual racing, and we've had megastar racers like Avik come up. He's a product of the car community in Bangladesh, right? Because he was there from the beginning, he was very involved, and what he did was he actually pursued his passion. And some people like us want to pursue that passion. We don't have the facilities right now in Bangladesh, but it's growing, and I think in the future new things will happen, new opportunities will come. You know about AAB, right? So yeah, so they're basically FI approved. They're training racers. I was also part of the training. I've done one part, and then they're also sponsoring some of the racers to go abroad and do racing. And that's like, it's the first time, nobody's ever done that. And this means that if you are talented and you have the willpower and the passion for it, you can pursue this and you can actually win something. I think Bangladeshi racers are generally talented. If you look at Avik and Ayman Sadat, these two guys were the first ones to go international. They won podiums, they won championships. So you have a lot more Ayman Sadats and Avik Anwars who are still young and who are growing that passion. And maybe in the next 5 years, you'll see us on the, list of flags that are waved in FIA. Hope so. Wishful thinking maybe, but I really hope it comes to that.
Doubling back to the 90s car,
Yeah.
you are a bit of a 90s kid yourself.
Yeah.
As I understand it, you have quite the collection of 90s JDMs.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit about them?
Well, you see this Prelude. This actually, this is the car, among my collection, this is the oldest that I have. I even got married in this car. So for me, this has a special sentimental value. Other than the fact that I think this has aged really well. I mean, this is almost 30 years old. No, wait, it's more than 30 years old. It's actually 33 years old. So it still looks pretty good, even when you compare it with recent cars. And of course, this is not. It doesn't have the racing pedigree of like an Evo or a Nissan Silvia. But when Honda tried to make this car, they focused on a comfortable cruiser or a GT car, something that looks good, something that matches their people's lifestyle. And I think that particular formula is still instilled in the latest Prelude, which people are saying it's not a really performance car. Here's the thing, it performs well when you're driving it, but it's probably not a good base car for a race car. You understand what I'm saying? And the thing is, how many of our cars become race cars, right? So what they're doing is they're putting a fun handling car that is adequately powered. I mean, it's 200 bhp. It's got very good response from what I've heard. And that's pretty much at the same level as these Preludes. The 4th gen and the 5th gen were also 200 HP, around 1250 kg or 1300 kgs. It's exactly the same formula in the latest Prelude. And, I mean, like the Mazda MX-5. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So they're keeping the same formula. They're not trying to pursue numbers or complicate the cars, but instead they're trying to keep the essence of fun driving without the extra penalties of a high performance cars. But I do have high performance cars as well. So I have like a collection of many Evos. I don't know how I ended up collecting all of them, but I know I was the first one to convert a Lancer into Evo Bangladesh. And the first one that I did was in 2011. So that was like a giant leap of faith because nobody's done it. And there was like no internet information on how to do it. There was a lot of trial and error, but I made the first one happen. And then I kept building more and more Evos. So the Evo 5 is the first complete conversion, but the Evo 4 that I made, a blue Evo 4, it's in Chittagong now. That was the first conversion. So it's not a true Evo conversion because it keeps the rear axle from a GSR and not an actual Evo. And after that, I wanted to own actual Evos. I've had an Evo 10. I now own an Evo 9. I have an Evo 8 project that is going on. I have an Evo 6 and I have my Evo 5. I think my 5 is a bit more popular because it's the car I won the rallycross in. Then this might turn into a conversation of which one is your favorite. And it's like, can you love one child more than the other? You can't. So my favorite car in the collection when it comes to driving, if it's a long drive, it's probably this. But if it is like a fun drive, it's the 1990 Civic hatchback that I have. And it has a K20 Type R swap in it. To be honest, that's like the most fun car you can get. It's light, it's very agile, it's crazy quick. So that's my favorite when it comes to having a fun drive. Are the Evos fun drives? They are. But they're very performance oriented cars, so they come with a lot of baggage as well. I mean, high maintenance cost, parts are getting really difficult to get. And you have that Evo itch, I mean, if you have an Evo, you want to push it so you can get more and more power, which is when you start breaking things. So it's a very involving ownership. I mean, it's very exciting, but it can be very frustrating as well, which is not the case with Hondas. I mean, Hondas are reliable. They don't break down. They're always fun to drive. But of course, they're not at the same level of performance as a Evo is.
Doubling back to your driving experience, you have an Evo 5 that's built as a race car. How does that compare to the Prelude, and what is like to live with the Prelude as opposed to that race car?
I mean, they both have pros and cons. Evo 5 is definitely the faster car and it's more capable. And weirdly, it's also more family friendly because you have 4 doors, you can seat 5 people, and so that's there. But when it comes to like driving comfort, This is far more comfortable. The ride is more poised, more controlled. There's much less noise inside. It's more refined. Also, the Evo 5 is sensitive. I mean, especially fuel. If your fuel's not good, you start knocking, and if you push the car while it's knocking, engine knock, you're going to damage the engine. And right now, anything to do with Evos is a very big, expensive, repair cost. Yeah. So, and you have to wait for parts to come, and they're getting more unavailable everywhere because there's a huge demand for Evo parts. From that perspective, this is less anxiety. It's more comfortable, but it's really good for two people. The rear seats are actually not really, usable. I used to force my daughter to sit at the back. She hates it. So now when I want to go out alone, or then I can take this car. So other than that, it's not possible to take the whole family. But the Evo 9, for example, is the car that we drive most because I kept the suspension stock and the engine is near stock, so the fuel economy is also better. It's a bit more refined than the 5, so that's our daily. So we usually use that to do everything, go out and everything. Evo 5 has become my, project car, and I used to take it for racing. And other than that, I wouldn't do much with it. But now I've kind of restored it, and because we don't have many racing events anymore, so I've decided that I'm going to keep it mint stock and keep it nice and clean, and sometimes occasionally take it out.
Speaking of project car, is this a project car or have you kept it bone stock?
So it's mostly bone stock. I mean, if you're a car enthusiast, nobody's gonna keep their car 100% stock. So here's the thing that I've changed. I've changed the springs. It's got lowering springs from this German company called Hotbits, and they've nailed it. I mean, it has almost the same ride quality. It is lower, but it is far better handling than the stock suspension. Stock suspension was very mushy. I also put a turbo. It's a DIY turbo, so it's not a kit. I made the whole turbo kit. So I took a turbo from an Evo 3, and it somehow bolts onto the non-VTEC F22B. I mean, it's a perfect fit. And the turbo size is also a perfect fit. So when I drive it, it feels like it's a NA car, but the non-VTEC F22B was only good for 160. But with the turbo, this is like 220 HP, and I think that's just the right power for this car.
You mentioned you did a DIY turbo swap on this thing, as well as you had your.
I got married in this car.
Yeah, this was your wedding.
Yeah.
So sounds like you have many stories with this car.
Oh yeah.
Can you share?
So when I got this car, I wasn't married. I was dating my girlfriend. So at times I would take this car and drop her to university. Then we became engaged, and then I was, more involved with spending time with her. We would go out. So we would do everything with this car. So those are like, the best moments of our lives right before we got married. And then we got married, and I took this car to the, to my wedding, and we came back home in this. And we didn't do the just married thing, but this was kind of decorated. So after that, we used to go to, let's say, Sylhet or Cox's Bazar, and we would take this car, and we had such beautiful memories with it because this is the perfect car for two people. I mean, it's reliable, it doesn't break down, it's really fuel economical. So from all perspectives, those were really, when we've used this the way probably the Honda manufacturers wanted us to use it. I mean, it is a car that's designed for young couples, and to enrich our personal experiences, and it's done its job perfectly. And because we have such a history with this car, I've meticulously kept this car for so many years. I mean, I've had this since 2008, and it's now 2025. So
Going back to the turbo swap, as I understand it, that wasn't the only DIY project you have done to your cars.
no.
So, what have you learned while working on your cars? What are the pitfalls, and what advice you have for anyone who's looking to open the bonnet of their car and do a bit of tinkering?
Well, I'll tell people what not to do. Uh, is not to have too many project cars. That's me. So that's a well you don't want to fall in. You're not going to climb out of it. Especially now, owning so many project cars is so difficult because of the AIT. The AIT is crazy high, and I don't think they should have AIT based on CC. They should have it based on car value. I mean, for example, you get a Mercedes or a BMW that's 1.5, but you spend like 70, 80 lakhs to buy it. So those guys should be taxed more than somebody who's buying like a 5-6 lakh takar gari for, I mean, that has a 2000 cc engine in it. So it's not a realistic arrangement, the AIT structure. It's just not realistic. It's not practical. I understand that they want old cars to go away, but if you replace the old cars, you'll have to bring in new cars. And country like ours, we need to keep our foreign reserve. So we don't want to waste so much money trying to replace old cars, which will just be dropped into, they'll go to the junkyard and they'll be broken down, dismantled, and you'll pollute the environment. So I say keep the cars that we have, let people enjoy the cheaper, older cars and maintain them, but make a more,
Comprehensive.
yeah, I mean, a more realistic AIT structure based on car value, right? So keep one project car, but keep a daily. A daily should be your average car that's comfortable and reliable. Definitely a Toyota or the new Hondas. I mean, uh, and also some of these Chinese cars, the BYDs and all that are coming out. These are great. Keep a normal car, but yes, get a project car. And if you get a project car, do some studies, make an idea of what your goals are going to be. And if you're new into this, get something that is simple and available, because you're going to break things, you're going to fix things, and if you're not earning that much, this is going to be a huge headache for you. You're not going to enjoy the experience. So start with simple cars like the 90s Toyotas. I mean, 4AG is an excellent engine. Other than the 4AG, you have the 4E FTE. These are great swaps. Any car with the 3SG is also a great swap. You also have great Hondas like the EK Hondas or the EG Hondas. And even if you get the 1.5 VTEC, the fun part about Honda is that the suspension is really good. It's a double wishbone suspension. So if with small mods like a better spring and better brake pads, you completely transform the car and your driving confidence increases significantly. And I would say go for a low power car that is good to drive, And I think Japan understands this. That's why their best-selling sports cars are the GT86 and the Mazda MX-5. They're both mildly powered cars, but they're extremely fun to drive. I mean, it's a winning formula.
Now that we have further inflated the price of second-hand 90s, let's talk about the look of this car. What do you think of this, and do you get many comments or looks when you get it off first spin?
I do. I mean, I get a lot of stares, and when I park this, I get a lot of kids who are taking pictures, and that's like for a car enthusiast. Since I was there myself, this is an amazing feeling. This car I think has aged really well. It was a big departure for Honda when they changed the design to this, making more rounded and all that. And in many ways, it kind of looks a lot like the Supra. So people say this Honda copied this from the Supra, but this came out first. So
Also, Supra is rear wheel drive.
yeah. I think this car looks rear wheel drive, but it isn't. To some people, that's the biggest drawback. I feel like if this was a rear wheel drive car, this would have been an absolute legend.
It's actually kind of odd. I'm guessing it had something to do with Japan's economy back then, but it's odd that they never came up with an all-wheel drive version of this.
They don't really, they know how to make a rear wheel drive car. I mean, they shut everybody up when they did the NSX and the S2000, but I don't think that's their, they should, of course they should, but that's not one of their, ideologies, I guess. It doesn't match with their ethos.
Sticking with the looks, this car has a few unique elements. For example, those ORVMs and the front headlight intakes. Are sourcing parts issue for you compared to the Evo specific?
At one point, it was very easy to get parts for the Prelude because there was a very big following in Thailand and Malaysia. but it's gotten rarer now. This is an old car, and it's not easy to get them in Japan anymore. You get a lot of these in America, but mostly in the junkyard. So you don't really get fresh parts, especially body parts. And getting body parts from USA is very expensive, especially in the shipping department. So that's why I don't take it out every day, because with all those Tesla rickshaws and all that, you don't know when they're going to bump into you, break your headlights or something. So it's a bit crazy. In fact, when I go to office, I have like 7 cars in my parking lot where I take the rickshaw and go to the office or walk. So it's it's crazy now. It's a bit risky to drive. Yeah.
Yeah, the prices are insane. I have a friend who bought Accord. He calls it Nila. He's trying to get a gauge cluster for it. In US, that's $800.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
One brief intervention from the military later. Let's get back to the Prelude. Looking at the interior, it's a 90s time capsule. In fact, that dashboard looks like the command console from the Enterprise, the USS Enterprise D, the Galaxy class. Yeah, what can you tell me about all the quirks and feature of this specific car?
I mean, it's not like the other cars, and I think that's why I love it. I mean, it is very futuristic, and nowadays you've got these Mercedes and BYDs, they have these whole sweeping screens, but the Honda guys thought about it a long time ago. And I think it's because Honda likes to make their, they want to build their cars as close to the prototype as possible, right?
Yeah.
When they design the concept car, the final production car is like 90% of that. So the concept car design was very futuristic, and they completely, moved it into the production car. And it's divisive, and that's why I think it's very interesting, because it's not your usual dashboard.
It's not. It's no one ignoring the dashboard that is the new GLC.
Yeah.
No other car has an entire panel full of warning lights, just like quite like this car.
And I actually love it. Everyone in my home also loves it. It's unique.
Can you tell us a bit about your racing career? How did you get into it? And what advice you have for anyone who's trying or rather thinking of getting into it?
All right, so it's a funny story. Avik was trying to call the organizer for the first rallycross, Mr. Sarwar. He has the same name as me, so he accidentally called me.
Okay.
And then when he called me, he said, "Oh, sorry, wrong server. But hey, we've got this rallycross thing. You should participate." And I said, "Yeah, definitely." So it was basically Avik that called me in, and that was the beginning of a beautiful passion and amazing friendship with Avik as well. So, and I got into the first rallycross, and it took my Civic. I just newly built it with the K20 swap in it, and I really wanted to see how well this performs. I didn't want to take this, but I took the Civic with me, and I came second in Group B. So I was like, wow, I didn't expect to win anything, and I did pretty well. So after that, I didn't miss a single rallycross. The second rallycross, I participated with the Evo 5 and the Galant and my Civic, and I won 3 podiums there. And I also participated in the third one, and third one was really, I mean, it was a very close call between me and the second place, as well as I also scored a second place. And in all these 3 rallycrosses, Avik was the de facto winner. So in the fourth one, when Avik didn't come, he didn't join the race. So I had no competition. So that's why I won the championship. I tell everybody this, that if Avik was there, I wouldn't be the champion.
Okay. But you are also an FIS certified racer, right?
Yeah.
How did you get that, and how would anyone who's looking to get that, what steps should?
Well, back when I got it first, you had to go to another country to do it. So we had to get it from India. So I was preparing for the Formula LGB racing, and they trained me, and I got my license from there. But right after that, when I was going to join the series, COVID happened and everything stopped. And I thought that was the end of my racing career. So now you don't have to go anywhere else. You can get your FIA racing license from Bangladesh through AAB. So, and I'm going to get my next license from them as well. I'm also part of the training program. So I would advise people if they're interested in racing. Well, if you are young and you want to get into racing, two things you want to do: sim racing, karting. That's the foundation. So my advice to anybody who wants to become a racer: get a simulator at home, Assetto Corsa or anything, and definitely do some karting, because the karting teaches you the basic foundations. And there are karting championships in Bangladesh, and basically everyone who's anyone in the racing world started with karting. You become a karting champion, you move on to Formula 4. We don't have Formula 4 because we don't have a track, but maybe in the near future it might happen. So, I mean, I hope so, inshallah.
So to sum it up, get a Go First addiction, get a simulator setup, sign up for go kart,
Yeah,
then apply to AIB, then get the registration.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. Quite a multi-step process.
But it's streamlined now and it is possible. So if you're dreaming it, it'll happen. You can turn it into reality.
What are you planning to do in the future with the racing and with your project cars? Anything fancy coming up? Or crazy would be more accurate in your...
Well, to be honest, no new project cars. I have too many project cars right now, and I actually want to cut down on the number of cars I have. AIT is killing me. But yes, I do want to pursue racing. I think I want to get a bit more fit. And then once I am physically capable, I'm going to try at least one stint in international racing, maybe Malaysia.
Sepang.
Yeah, Sepang maybe. So, and you know, I have Avik, he's always guiding me and he's always motivating me. So, you know, I'll do what he tells me to do.
Okay. All right. That will be all. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Thank you for us having a look at this wonderful car.
Thank you.